So how long does it exactly take to learn how to code? Let's talk. So I would like to underline that everybody's experience is going to be different, as it depends on way too many factors. For example, how much time you can dedicate, how much free time you have. Maybe you're already full-time employed in another place and you have people depending on you that you need to take care of, and you end up having maybe just 2 hours a day, if even. Or maybe you're a student or out of a job and you actually can dedicate all your time. Already those two scenarios are going to be completely different in terms of the time frame. Then another thing that is important is how many of the prerequisites to learn how to code do you already have by the time you start learning how to code? Yeah. What I mean by that, before I became a web developer, I was an architect. In architecture, you apply a lot of problem-solving skills and you have a lot of logic that goes into planning, into creating the objects. I was able to take those skills and apply them while learning how to code, and that's why I got the unfair advantage than my other peers in my bootcamp, for example. Another thing can be maybe you're coming from another coding language, or maybe you have had some previous experience in learning how to code, maybe some years ago, or maybe you were just very tech savvy and it's going to make a little bit more sense to you than to people who aren't. So you see how it's like a pretty... It's not a very stable thing that you can just say, hey, it's gonna take you 364 days in order to learn how to code, and on the 365th day, you're gonna get a job. That's not how it works. If you've heard the success stories, as we have all did, when people learn how to code in 3 to 5 days, they nail their dream job and then they set for life. That's not gonna happen. Forget about this. Coding takes time. You need to practice it. You need to have iterations over it. So it's gonna take you way longer than that. You also need to figure out how are you as a learner. Is learner a word? I guess so. How do you learn things? Do you learn them fast? Do you grasp concepts fast? Do you need a teacher? Do you need a mentor to write down the notes, to analyze things, to sleep on it, to maybe do it only in the morning, only in the evening? This factor is also going to pay into the time frame that you're gonna set yourself to kind of like estimate how long it's going to take to learn how to code. Then there is another aspect, being comfortable with coding. So sometimes people associate learning how to code, how long is it gonna take them, by how long will it take them to get comfortable with coding. And that's a fair one. You don't need to feel 100% comfortable in order to get a job and already be on the job. How long is it going to take you to be comfortable? Probably very long. My personal suggestion, start being uncomfortable. Because really, in every level that you're gonna go to, even if you code for 3 to 4 years, maybe even longer, you're always gonna get to a point where you have a new bug, a new thing that you absolutely have no clue how that happened, how to fix it, and where to start. It's going to make you extremely uncomfortable, but that's just part of the process. And everybody goes through that. The faster you're gonna let go of that uncomfortable feeling, or at least ignore it, because it's gonna be there, then the faster you're gonna let yourself focus on other important things. About the getting employed part. As I mentioned, you don't need to be 100% comfortable. As a matter, let's just forget about being comfortable during coding. When is the right time to start looking for a job? I can share based on my personal experience. Once I started seeing that every course that I would purchase online would be repeating the same thing again and again and again, and I would just get bored to a point where 80% of the course you could already kind of like predict, and it was so repetitive that it got so freaking boring that you kind of like sitting and thinking, oh damn it, I'm ready for that next challenge. Let's go and get a job. In reality, you're never gonna prepare yourself for a job 100% through courses. That was actually something that I didn't know. I thought that a job is gonna be pretty much as a course, but it wasn't. So the only thing that you need to focus in order to get a job is to practice your skill, find kind of like a flow to your work, to how you search for things, type things, work together with people, and things like that. So how long does it gonna take you exactly to learn how to code? I don't know. It depends on your skills, depends on your prerequisites, depends on your knowledge, how much time you can dedicate to it, and honestly, depends on your luck. But I still think that coding and web development is one of the fields that it's more easy to break into. You can be self-taught, you can take on a boot camp, you don't have to spend 4 years in a university for that, although if you do, that's absolutely fine, but you don't have to. And more companies are open for that. So my main point is that coding and learning how to code doesn't take a couple of days. It's a very big skill. It requires learning how to talk to computers, how to make them do what you want them to do in their own language. It also requires a different way of thinking, especially if you don't come from fields that are related to that, but it's all manageable. Everybody can learn that. As long as you really want to do that and you feel that this is something that you want to try, you can do it. If you don't want to do it, that's also fine. But don't give up if coding is just hard. I have another video about that. You can check that one out because that would be a pity. The industry really needs you and it can benefit from having you a lot. So that was me rambling for I don't know how long. I don't know if I actually made the point. I will see by the time I edit the video. I hope I did. If you enjoy this kind of format, which I don't know if I enjoyed it, but if you enjoyed this kind of format, let me know. I'm trying something new. As always, let me know in the comments if you have anything to add to this topic. I'm always very happy to see what you have to share. I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to wish you a good day, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are. Stay safe and see you in the next one. Bye.